Hey folks, it's Ela, and I'm going to show you one of many ways to paint an apple. So we're gonna, let's see, I'll show you some examples of apple that I've painted in the past. So there's always a lot of room to play. This one I threw some salt on there, right? I did an underpainting, kind of like what I did here. I painted this one green first and greenish yellow, and I even put a little piece of tape to keep a highlight, save that for later. Here's another apple that I did. It was a little bit more loose and a little bit more painterly that I did in just one step. But you can see I have three different colors. I have kind of a yellow ochre color, a very bright red in there, and a more of a deep, cool red last. So play around. I think the most important thing when you're painting something like an apple is you want it to feel round. You want to have that sense of it's a sphere. You know, you got that little divot in the top, but you want this top part here to come out at you and feel like the light is hitting it. And this part down here, you have some shadow, or maybe you add a little extra color down there just to help it to recede and get that three-dimensional shape. So we're going to do that by doing wet into wet, which is when you have water or paint running together, or both. It's nice to have a little bit of both. So I'm just going to get started. I'm going to be doing this with a light red that comes in this Van Gogh set, as well as a dark madder color. And I'm just going to get started here. I'm going to put some water up here. It's a little bit pink on my brush, but that's fine. So just doing this will help keep that highlight towards the top of the apple. And hopefully this tape will resist. We'll see how that works out. And now I'm going to go in. I'm going to see if I can keep this kind of in the light coral side of the spectrum. There we go. So down here at the bottom there's no water, and I can see that that color is much stronger down here. Whereas at the top I have more of that water, and it dilutes this orangey red color much more. I can put some more water in here, help soften all that up. So this is all wet into wet. There's no hard edges anywhere, except for hopefully on that tape and on the edge of that apple. And now I can go ahead with a darker, more intense color. And if I was really feeling crazy like I am right now, you can do some splattering. Let's see what happens. So this is some paper, tissue paper I bought from Daiso. It is soaking up that paint a little bit. But I can speckle. Ooh, party. Party, party. There we go. And those are going to keep moving around. If I want to do a little bit of streakiness, I can try. But, it's focusing on the edges and the bottom more, which will help push them back and having the light areas be more towards the top. If I'm going to do the top, it's going to be the very back edge. Soften that up a little bit. So that's pretty cool right there. If you want to, you can fuss with it, you can mess with it. I'm using cold pressed paper. I have a little bit of color up in there. So I've got a big window where I can play. But if you play too much, it'll all get kind of muddy. And I was telling my students, it's like, can you be present for the party on your paper? Can you appreciate what's cool about your picture instead of going, does it look exactly like my apple? No, it does not. Is it cool looking? I think it's pretty cool. Right? You can also, this is a ultramarine mixed with a little bit of Payne's gray. And put just a little bit of shadow down here. And this will further create the illusion of a round shape. So I rinsed it, I wiped it off with my hands or with a paper towel, and I can just very lightly coax that shape a little bit. If that shadow pushes the other colors too much, you can put some of those colors back in there. Just very lightly tapping, tap, 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 tap. And unfortunately, wet into wet, things like to move a lot. So something cool might happen. It might dry out, it might change. I've got a little bit of a buckle right there, so I'm probably gonna get more paint right here. I didn't tape my paper down. But it's cool. I think it's all right. Let's see, I'll clean it up just a little bit. Don't mess with it too much though. Try to stop while you're ahead. I hope you found this fun after it's all done drying. Oh, see, I say I'm not going to mess it. I mess some more. When it's all done drying, I can go in there and remove that tape. I'm going to wait for it to dry first. And I can add some more darker color into that stem. Maybe mix a little bit of ultramarine blue with that orange to make a dark color. So, you know, if I went for brown in here, it's going to look a little bit awkward. But if I mix a brown using the colors that are already in this apple, it's going to all feel like it belongs in the same universe, using the same colors over and over again. All right, I hope you enjoyed this.